So welcome, my name is Lynn Block. We are here for a gentle yoga practice, 45 minutes, and then I will do a longer 15-minute meditation. You're welcome to stick around for that, or if you have things you need to do, because it's noon hour and you're still working, please feel free to hop off and whatever. So let's go ahead, let's start in a standing position today. We're gonna start with our feet underneath our hips. Knees are bent nice and soft, and we're gonna lift from the ground up. So starting at the feet, lift the kneecaps up. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Palms face forward. We can start today with our eyes closed if it feels good, or we can keep them open and just gaze down towards the floor. And then think about having slight muscular engagement from those feet all the way up. And let's talk about our feet for a minute. Maybe lift those toes up, press into the ball of the foot, the outside pinky toe edge of the foot, and then back behind on the heel and softly set the toes down. So we're active through our feet. That's called Pada Bandha. Just try to find that Pada Bandha in our feet. And then lifting and lengthening and just finding our breath. So we're going to stand here today and find our breath. Taking a nice deep breath in, let the ribs expand, let the breath come in, fill the lungs and belly expand. And then as we exhale out, the belly is gonna push and the air is gonna come out. So take those nice deep breaths in, inhaling, ribs expanding, and then exhaling out the back of the throat and out that nose. Inhaling, letting those ribs expand, and exhaling out. Inhaling and exhaling. As we breathe, check in with our bodies. How are we feeling today physically? How are we feeling mentally, emotionally? Just acknowledge how we're feeling today, honoring that as we move through our yoga practice. Letting go of all judgment and competition on the four corners of the mat. Just breathe. Make sure when we're here today, we take our options that we need and move at our own pace. Let's go ahead and add some arm movement. Welcome to open the eyes if we would like. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhaling through heart center. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, coming through. Inhaling and exhaling. Give me a few more here. Centering ourselves with our breath. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring the hands down beside us. Palms beside us, palms face out. Let's do a little lateral flexion. So turn the palms to face the thighs. Right arm, inhale, lifting up, exhale, reaching down, and then maybe add a little lean. Inhale, release, switching sides, exhale, lengthening, and then lean across. Inhale, lifting up, let's do that again, switching arms, and exhaling across. Inhale, lift, one more time, exhale, lengthen, and then reach across. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, both hands by our side. Do a little chest expansion. I'm going to take my hands to my hips, pulling those elbows back, pushing the chest forward. So think about the chest going towards the ceiling, elbows pulling back, opening across the collarbones up here. And just breathe. We might gaze towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, or maybe all the way up to the ceiling. Just opening that chest, especially if we've been sitting more. If we sit a lot, this can get tight. So just really engage through the shoulder blades, noticing how our chest is feeling today. If it's tight. On our next exhale, slowly releasing those shoulders down. Let's go ahead and do a nice and gentle twist. So gently take your hand to your low back. Other hand, wrap it around the hips. Gently twist and look over that shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder, twist. And notice how the spine is feeling as we hold and breathe. Slowly releasing back to center. Other side, hand behind that low back, other hand on that hip. Lift and lengthen, and then twist. Lower back, middle back, upper back, look over the shoulder, and breathe. Slowly releasing back to center, and release down. Bringing our hands to heart center, we're going to chair pose. Inhaling, as we exhale, sit back into chair, weight back in the heels. Inhale, lifting up. As we sit back, tailbone goes back, knees behind the toes. Inhale, lift. Now we can keep the hands here at heart center, or we can add some movement. Inhale, lengthening, and then we can come back to heart center. Inhale, reaching long, and if we want, circle sweep, reaching forward. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sinking into the heels. So finding that chair pose, choosing how we want to move our arms today. Listening to our shoulders, and notice how we're feeling through that body. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, dropping into those heels. One more here. One more chair pose. Sinking down into those heels. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release the arms. Let's practice forward folding here. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, soften the knees, sweeping forward, swan dive forward, and hands reach towards the ground. Inhale, reverse swan dive, lift up. Exhale to chair. Choose where you want those arms. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Let's do a half lift. Hands to shins, lift halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Soften our knees, inhale, reverse, swan dive up. Exhaling to chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse, swan dive up. Exhale to chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, holding forward fold. Breathing. Soften those knees. Slowly walk those feet back, finding downward facing dog. Push through the shoulders, softening our knees if our hamstrings are tight. Our head is between our elbows and our biceps. Shake your head yes and no. Loosen the neck and breathe. Slowly drop those knees down towards the mat. Bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Now if we have our knees are sensitive, welcome to pad the knees with an extra blanket or pillow, or fold the yoga mat up underneath those knees a little more. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, nice neutral spine. As we inhale, we're going to drop the tailbone up towards the sky, lifting the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to round that back, tucking the chin. So moving with our breath, inhale, finding cow. Exhale, finding that cat. Noticing if we have a tight spot in our spine. If this bothers those wrists, we can always use fists for wrists. Moving between the two, just giving a little relief to those wrists if we have any wrist issues. Make a couple more cat and cows here. Let's return to a neutral spine when we're finished. Finding that nice neutral spine. We're going to go into a spinal balance. So I'd extend that right leg back behind us, and we're pushing the heel against the wall. Left arm forward. Reaching long, inhale. As we exhale, switching sides. So switch sides, push that heel back, reaching up. And as we exhale, pull in. So we're going at our own pace. We can always have the toe tapping the ground. We can just do a leg or just do an arm. Choosing whatever option feels best for us today. Moving with our breath at our own pace. It's okay if your pace is different than my pace. Perfectly fine. Alternating sides. Notice how that spine is feeling as we're warming it up. And slowly release. Holding here. Feet together, knees separate as we go into child's pose. Sitting back over those heels. Palms pressing into the mat. Breathing here. And it's okay if our hips are a little higher. Whatever's comfortable for us, please find child's pose. Child's pose is a place we can come anytime during our yoga practice. Inhale, lifting up, walk to one edge of the mat. And sit back into that opposite hip. Feeling the stretch down the side of our body. Inhale, lifting up, walk across to the other side. Sitting back into that opposite hip, stretching down our side. And breathe. Inhale, lifting up, coming back to center. Finding child's pose in the center. Inhale, lifting up. Walk those knees in so they're a little closer together, not super wide. So we'll sit back over those heels. May not be that full child's pose. Shifting forward to a kneeling plank. Shoulders, wrists, elbows in one line. Exhale back over those heels. Inhale, shifting forward. Shoulders may come slightly over those fingers. So we're going to get ready to add that crocodile or chaturanga push-up. We're going to add that little half lower down. Ready? Coming forward, shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows, elbow shave ribs back up and over those heels. Inhale, shift forward. Give me that little half bend and then back up. Inhale, shift forward. Give me that half bend and sit back. Inhale, shift forward. This time we're going to half bend, hold, and then drop the hips to the mat, lowering all the way down. Coming into a baby cobra. Feet are on the ground, maybe a little wider than the hips. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift and lengthen the head and chest. And exhale, release. So a cobra or baby cobra, listening to our back today, knowing where we need to go. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Pressing back into child's pose. And hold here. Inhale, lifting up. And turn those feet over. Exhaling to down dog. Feet about hip width apart. Softening our knees if our hamstrings are tight. Pushing through those shoulder blades. Head is between the biceps. Good, walk the dog. Inhale, lift the heels up, drop one heel down, push it towards the ground, bend one knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press the other heel down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop that heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop that heel. Inhale, lifting. Just alternating side to side. Noticing how the backs of our legs feel. Holding that down dog, pushing through those shoulders. Inhaling. As we exhale, walking our feet towards our hands, coming into forward fold. Softening the knees as much as needed. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soften our knees. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, find chair. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, split mountain. Super job. All right, so we're going to step our right foot back. We're going to step it at an angle. Hips turned towards the front of the leg. Warrior one. Sinking down into the hips. Hands can be at heart center or they can go overhead. So really think about bending the front knee. Back leg is straight at an angle. Wherever you want those arms. Reaching towards the sky with the chest, sinking into the hips. Breathing. Give me one more inhale and exhale. Slowly bring the hands towards the thigh. We're going to tip forward. Now you can choose to stay here with the hands on the thigh looking towards your foot, or we can choose to take one arm forward or both arms forward. Extended warrior one. Choosing options, pressing through both feet. Feel the back heel pushing down as well as the front. Inhale, lift the chest up. Release the arms. We're going to turn that back foot to the side, coming into a warrior two. So check heel, ankles, heels, middle of the foot are kind of in alignment. Back leg's going to stay straight. Then the front knee, warrior two. This knee wants to go to the big toe. Please pull it to the pinky toe. Adding those arms. Looking down those fingertips. Breathing. Sinking into those hips. Reverse this warrior. Inhale, lift the front arm up, back arm to the leg. Now think about lifting out of the ribs, sinking into those hips. Finding that reverse warrior. Inhale, rising back and falling into warrior two. Going into side angle. Hand comes down to the thigh. Now gently, think about using your core. Land on the thigh with the arm. Other arm can go overhead in the air or behind our back if we're protecting shoulder. Right here, think about stacking ankle, knee, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, and drop this hip down as much as our body will allow. We can look straight ahead, over the shoulder, or at the arm in the air. Side angle pose. Breathing. Notice if we have any tightness and where that tightness is today. We'll compare it to the other side. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, finding warrior two. We're going to hang out here in the middle. Release those arms. Turn both feet forward. Going into wide straddle. You're welcome to have something on the ground. If we can't quite reach the ground with those arms, moving towards the ground. Tipping from those hips. You may use anything if needed, if we have tight hamstrings, underneath those hands. Relaxing the head, neck, and shoulders as much as possible, holding that forward fold. Breathing. And we're welcome to stay here. I give the option to walk towards the right leg. We can grab the calf, ankle, foot. If we want to rest our head and our arm, we can. If we want to stay in the center, we're welcome to stay in the center. As we breathe, continue walking across the body, going to the other side, left leg. We do calf, ankle, foot. Always welcome to rest the head in the arm. Breathing as we hold. Hips are staying square. Slowly walking back to center. Holding in the center, drop the head, neck, and shoulders straight down, lifting the tailbone up. Maybe shifting the weight towards the balls of the feet. Bringing our hands towards our thighs, soften our knees a whole lot. Inhale, rising up. Stepping to the front end of the mat. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to go to the other side of my mat. Stepping right foot back. Hips towards the front. Sinking down into those hips. Front knee bend, back leg long. Hands to heart center. Hips as much as we can towards the front end of that mat. And if we want, we can take those arms overhead. Choosing wherever we'd like those arms today. Breathing. Slowly bringing the hands down to the thighs, starting there, tipping forward, look to the top of the foot. Now we can stay with the hands on the thighs or we can reach forward, lengthening long. Breathing, choosing our option, hand to thigh, one hand forward, both hands forward. Pushing through both feet equally. On our next inhale, we're rising back up to center. Turning to the side. I'm going to turn that back foot so it faces the side completely. Other foot faces the front end of our mat. We're sinking into our hips, pulling our knee to our pinky toe. Hands can be at heart center, going to warrior two, or we can take those arms long. This front leg, again, wants to go to big toe. Please pull it to pinky toe. Breathing. Notice how we're feeling here on this side compared to the other side. Keep sinking in the hips. We want to keep that front knee in line with that ankle. Going to reverse warrior. Legs are staying here. Inhale. Lift the front arm up, back arm to the leg. Lengthen out of the ribs. There might be a little bit of a lean, but it's more about the length through the side of the body. Breathing. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, finding that warrior two again. And breathe. Going to side angle. Hand to the thigh. Again, think about using the core, not just pressing down on the leg. Other arm can go overhead in the air or behind the back if we're protecting our shoulder. Drop the hip as much as we can. We may look straight ahead or the arm in the air. And then notice how we're feeling on this side of our body. Is it different than the other side was? We're not always the same from side to side. Breathing. On our next inhale, rising up, finding that warrior two one more time. Slowly release the arms down. Stepping to the front end of the mat safely. We're going to go into some balance poses. So here in the center, let's find our mountain pose, feet under hips, rounding through our feet, lifting up, arms beside us. We'll do tree and 5-pointed star. So two poses for balance. Hands to heart center. Starting with tree, picking our right foot up, take it to the side, and then bending the knee, foot open or hip opens to the side. We can be on the ground with our foot. We can choose to lift it up above the knee. We can choose to lift it higher, just making sure we're not pressing right on that knee joint. Hands may stay at heart center, or they may go overhead. Any variation, cactus arms, out wide, one arm up, one arm down, whatever feels okay today as we breathe. Slowly bring the hands to heart center. Tap the toe down to the side. Going right into 5-pointed star. Arms go wide and lift up. Leaning towards the side. Try to keep that one leg underneath us. Soften the knee. We can even make it longer. Breathing. Bring the hands back to heart center, releasing down. Kind of shake out that leg that was holding us in one place. And then finding that mountain pose again. Are we ready? Hands to heart center. Left leg out to the side. Slowly bringing it in. It could be as a kickstand. Or we can choose to pick it up to the side. Breathing. Hands can go overhead, any variation, whatever we want. Finding our tree. Slowly releasing hands back to heart center. Taking our toe to the side. Tap down to start. Take our arms wide. And then lift up, softening the right knee as we lift into 5-pointed star. Breathing. Really open the chest. And we can always take it to more of a diagonal. Any variation in here with those arms. Slowly bringing the foot back in. Finding our mountain pose. Can shake out that leg. Super job. Going to hold a forward fold a little longer. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhaling, hold this forward fold. You can keep the hands on the ground. We may go to gorilla, which is where we step on the palms, or we can just choose to hold our big toes and lengthen through the head, straightening those arms. So choosing Whatever form of this, we would like to hold about 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Really think about grounding through the feet. If we're big toe or gorilla, straightening those arms, lifting that head up. Letting our bodies just settle in. Doing 2 more breaths here. Soften our knees, hands to the ground, stepping back into down dog. Kind of walk that dog, give those legs a little break here. And just hold down dog. Shifting forward to plank on the toes or the knees. Pull that belly button to the spine. Shifting back, exhale to down dog. Go one more time, inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale back to down dog. Slowly drop our knees down to the mat, finding a child's pose. And breathe. Let's do a little lunging here. Let's go ahead and bring our right foot forward. And let's sink into the hip. Now those hands can be on the ground. We can choose to lift up. We can choose to keep the knee on the ground, or if we've been doing yoga for a while and we want to, we can come into this low lunge. Again, hands to ground, hands to leg, hands to heart center. So choose the version of our lunge that we would like today. I'm going to drop back to the knee. Any version of lunge. Let's add a gentle twist. So if we're on the ground with our hand, we're going to lift up. If we're up, we're going to twist to the side. And we can bring that elbow on the outside of the leg and hands towards heart center. If we're on the knee, we can also do the same thing. But if that's not a place we can go, keeping a hand on the ground and opening wide. There's so many options in yoga. Please take the one that works for us today. Right? Slowly releasing down. Let's drop the back knee down. Everyone drop the back knee down. And we're going to walk back. Point our toes towards our nose, doing half split. Feeling the stretch from the heel up the back of the leg, fingertips towards the mat. Looking down towards our knee or shin. Slowly walking back forward, sinking into that hip. And we'll switch sides. So go ahead, pull that leg back. Let's switch to the other leg. Bring it forward. And then again, choose where we want to be. We can be on the ground with the hands on the knee. We can choose to lift the knee up. We can choose to be on the thigh. We can choose to go all the way up. Whatever feels best for us in this lunge. Again, I'm going to go back to my knee. You hold this lunge, whatever feels best for us. And breathe. All right, so incorporating that twist. We can go ahead and bring those hands together, elbow on the outside of that leg, twisting on the knee or not on the knee. And if that's not a place we can twist, we are welcome to place the hand on the ground, other arm in the air. So taking the option that feels best for our bodies. Any option for this lunge twist. Slowly release the hand down, dropping the back knee down if we were up. We're going to slowly walk back. Fingertips to the ground, half split here. With a stretch from the heel up the back of the leg, looking towards the knee or the shin. Just holding as we breathe. Slowly walking back forward. Let's pull that leg back and find child's pose. Inhale, lifting up. We're gonna lay on our belly, doing some work on our back. Hands can come together, rest the forehead on the hands. Checking that those hips, or the feet are about hip width apart. We're gonna go ahead and start with a locust pose. Squeezing our glutes, lifting those legs, breathing. Really working through the back side of our body, especially the lower half here. Slowly lower those feet down. And we're gonna lift the upper body. Feet are on the ground. Inhale, lifting up. Hands by the shoulders. Or we can choose to extend long. Some people don't like how it feels on their shoulders, so keep them here. Lift the chest as high as we can. Slowly lowering down. Everything releases. Option here to do both arms and legs in a full locust pose. If we have any back issues, please feel free to only choose legs or arms, not both. Okay? All right, are we ready? Full locust pose. Squeeze the glutes, lifting the legs, lifting the chest. Welcome to extend the arms or keep them here. Breathing as we hold. Slowly lowering down. Relax everything down. Hands next to shoulders, pressing back into child's pose. Inhale, lifting up. Go ahead, have a seat. Let's go ahead and sit with our legs long in front of us. Finding our sitting bones. Slowly pull the toes towards the chest, lengthening through our chest. Inhale, lifting up. I'm gonna start with my hands on my thighs. And if I need to bend my knees more, I can bend my knees more. Tipping from the hip. And then we can walk out. Wherever those hands are comfortable landing, looking towards our knees. Breathing. Inhale, slowly rising up. We're gonna lay on our mat, sliding down our mat, hugging our knees into our chest. We may rock back and forth or side to side. We're gonna go into bridge, dropping our feet towards the mat, hands beside us, lifting into those, lifting the hips up, pressing into the heels, lengthening through our body, breathing and holding here. Think about really all the weight in the shoulders, lifting the hips as high as we can, activating the back side of our body, our posterior chain. Breathing. As we exhale this time, start at the shoulders, one vertebrae at a time, sets down. Releasing the tailbone last. We're going to take our right leg up in the air, grab behind the thigh or the calf, pulling towards the chest. Take a piece of fruit under the chin as we push the heel up. So we want to make sure our neck is long and we're pushing the heel towards the ceiling. Nice long hamstring stretch. We can pull it closer to the chest if we need more sensation. Then we're going to cross that leg over, making a number 4. We want to make sure we're pulling the toes towards the knees so that we're protecting our knee here. We're going into reclined pigeon. We're going to lift up that back leg. We can pull it towards us and just release through the outer thigh and gluteal of the top leg. Breathing. Letting this pose settle into our bodies. Slowly dropping that foot down, uncrossing the legs. Switching legs, other leg goes up in the air, grab behind the thigh or the calf, pull towards the chest, push the heel up, making sure our neck is long by having a piece of fruit under it. And we're just holding this long hamstring stretch. slowly release, bending the knee, crossing it over that thigh. Pull the toes towards the knee. Then we're going to lift that bottom leg, pulling it towards us. Breathing, making sure our neck is long. Holding outer thigh gluteal stretch. Slowly lowering down, uncrossing our legs. Take our arms wide at our shoulders, knees and inner thighs and feet all touching, and drop our knees to the right side. Lift those hips up, shoulders stay down. Look away from our knees. Releasing that spine. Inhale, lifting those knees. And then exhale, dropping to the other side. Looking away from the knees, down the arm. Trying to keep the shoulder down if it will stay. Hips lift as high as possible. And breathe and hold, spinal release. Inhaling, rising back up to center. And let's go into reclined butterfly, feet together, knees open wide. Hands can go by the hips, on the belly and the chest as we breathe, or we can extend long overhead. Choosing any option for those arms. Just focus on the breath here. Letting gravity do the work on the legs. Inhale, rising those knees back to the center, hugging our knees into the chest. Our final pose before Shavasana will be Happy Baby. So either grabbing behind our thighs, pulling down, heels towards the ceiling. We can also grab big toes or arches of our feet. Pull the knees down on the outside of our body while we push the heels up, creating dynamic tension in our legs. And then we make sure that our chin is tucked with a piece of fruit under it, and breathe. Hopefully feeling the release through the inner thighs, the low back. Slowly releasing those feet down. Finding our Shavasana pose. We can have the knees bent. If our knees are bent, bring the knees together. We can straighten those legs. We can go to that reclined butterfly. If we're close to a wall, we can do legs up a wall. So choosing any option that feels good for us. Finding our Shavasana pose. Just focus on our breath as we settle in. Think about inhaling energy into our body and exhaling tension out. Inhaling, bringing energy in, and exhaling tension out. Think about slowing our breath down. Think about inhaling as deep as we can. Have a slight pause. And then as we exhale out, as long as we can, completely emptying the lungs. Slight pause before we begin the next inhale. So continuing with our slow, deep breaths. Think about relaxing from the tips of our toes through our feet. Relaxing our heels and ankles. Relaxing through our calves and our shins. Relaxing our knees. Relaxing through our thighs, front of the thighs, back of the thighs. Relaxing in through our hips and gluteals. Moving up the spine, starting at the tailbone. Relax through the lower back, middle back, upper back between the shoulder blades. Relax the back of the neck. Down through the tops of our shoulders. Through the upper arms, both right and left. Relaxing through the elbows, the wrists. Relaxing through our palms, back of the hands, and all 10 fingers. Taking a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, completely relax our entire body. Making sure we're not holding tension in our forehead or our jaw. Relaxing through the facial muscles. Staying focused on the breath. Nice, long, deep breaths. Inhaling. And making the exhale just as long, maybe longer. Feeling calm. Feeling at peace. Slowly coming back into our present moment. Maybe wiggle those fingers and toes. Maybe roll the wrists or ankles. Taking our time, welcome to bend the knees and roll to one side, relaxing on our side. And whenever we're ready, pressing to an upright, comfortable position. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale and exhale. Bring our hands towards heart center. The greatness in me honors the greatness in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing this gentle yoga practice with me. If you want to stick around for meditation, we'll get set up for that.